Yes. Jai Hind and hello everyone. Welcome back to Crack Grade B. This is Sunil Jangad and today we are going to start a chapter pronoun, right? We shall cover all concepts and practice questions regarding this chapter. And pronoun, if you talk about, if you deal fillers, right? So many of the questions in fillers, they are also from this chapter pronoun. And from your fillers point of view, some of the grammatical chapters are very important, very crucial, like pronoun, and the most important chapter is preposition, determiners, modal auxiliary verbs, and verbs, right? So these are the chapters which help you a lot, um, which help you a lot in fillers while you are dealing with fillers, right? So today we are going to start pronoun and its concepts, all concepts, and we understand their concepts with practice questions, right? So I hope audio and video clear. Is everything okay? Are audio and video clear? And kindly share this session with all your friends and invite them all. We are going to start pronoun. You will have some of the practice questions, like first question, if you talk about, there is first sentence is Sandhya was one of those Miss Universe contestants who attributed her success to her parents, right? So first sentence, this one is, and this is a good question. Okay, what do you think of this sentence? Sandhya was one of those Miss Universe contestants who attributed her success to her parents. Okay, I just want to suggest you that while you deal with your exam or your question paper, and if you talk about English, guys, never differentiate your knowledge, like never categorize your knowledge. Like some of the students, what they do, they just categorize their knowledge in different segments, like different chapters: noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb. And when they deal with a sentence, they just cram some rules, and on the basis of that crammed rules, they just try to deal with the sentences, right? So कभी भी आप ऐसा ना करें. आप हमेशा क्या करें, अपनी नॉलेज को जनरल बनाएं. जनरल इन द सेंस, जब आप किसी भी सेंटेंस को डील करते हैं, तो जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपने, जितने भी चैप्टर्स पढ़े हैं, ठीक है, जस्ट डू दैट सेंटेंस. और उस सेंटेंस को आप करना क्या है कि बिल्कुल स्टार्टिंग से आप देखें, और स्टार्टिंग से देखते हुए जस्ट रिलेट द पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच, ठीक है, रिलेट डिफरेंट वर्ड्स को रिलेट करें, और जो टोटल नॉलेज है आपकी उसको अप्लाई करते हुए, और फिर देखें कि कहाँ तक रिलेशन मेंटेन हो रहा है. ठीक है, जहां पे भी रिलेशन मेंटेन होगा, एक जो है रिक्वायरमेंट जहां पे भी ब्रेक होगी, वहीं पे आपकी एरर हो जाया करती है. दिस इज द राइट वे, ठीक है. और क्रैम्ड रूल्स के बेस पे कभी भी इंग्लिश को डील करने की कोशिश ना करें. डोंट स्पेसिफाई योर नॉलेज, ऑलवेज ट्राई टू मेक इट जनरल, राइट? इसको जनरल बनाएं, स्पेसिफिक ना करें कि अलग अलग चैप्टर्स के रूल आपने अपने अलग अलग माइंड में चैम्बर्स बना लिए, जिसमें कभी आप नाउन ढूंढ रहे हो, कभी प्रोनाउन ढूंढ रहे हो, कभी एडजेक्टिव, वर्ब, एडवर्ब, प्रेपोजिशन, लाइक दैट. ओके, ऐसा ना करें. हर सेंटेंस को स्टार्टिंग से देखें, रिलेट करते हुए जाएं. जहां पे भी रिलेशन ब्रेक होगा, यू विल फाइंड योर एरर पार्ट. ओके, सो लाइक in the first sentence, as we know, we are going to deal pronoun chapter. Sandhya is subject, was one of. Make sure this word one of always demands a plural noun or pronoun. So this one is the plural noun, right? And this one is the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun demands a verb. Relative pronoun demands a verb according to its antecedent subjects. What is the antecedent subject of relative pronoun? Who? Contestants. Contestants is the plural subject, that's why plural verb will be used. Okay, this second form, what is the reason of this past tense? Reason, we know it very well. In tense, I told you, if the first clause is in past tense, all other clauses will also be in the past tense. I said if the first clause is in past tense, rest clauses will also be in the past tense. This was is past tense, that's why we have used attributed. Okay, next one is her success. So this is the transitive verb. Success is noun, object, and before this noun we have a possessive adjective, her. But make it sure, as we know, which is the subject of this verb? The subject of this verb is contestants, plural. So we are talking about plural persons, right? Subject is plural, and make it sure if the subject of the sentence is plural, verb will also be plural, and according to subject, this possessive case must also be plural, and his or her both are singular possessive adjectives, so you have to replace the singular possessive adjective with plural possessive adjective, and it will be their success to their parents. Here also their parents will be there. Sentence will be okay, and you will have an error in part C. Sentence will be like, Sandhya was one of those Miss Universe contestants who attributed their success, means contestants attributed their success to their parents. This will be the right answer. Option C is the error part. Okay, move to the next one. The concept is verb and possessive case is always used according to the subject. You have to focus on the subject, ki subject is singular or plural, and accordingly you have to maintain a possessive case, right? So move to the next one. He and I have done his duty. Okay, you know, whenever pronouns are singular, we use a sequence of pronouns, and that sequence must be 2 3 1, second person, third person, first person. This is the this is appropriate sequence. So this is second person is absent here, so this one is third person and this one is first person. 2 3 1 is the sequence. If second person is absent, then 3 1 will be the sequence. Okay, but connecting by and, this subject is plural, accordingly you have to use a plural verb, and according to this plural verb, according to this plural subject, your possessive adjective will also be plural. This duty is a singular noun, and you have to use a plural possessive adjective. It will also be like their duty will be the right answer, and you have an error in part C. Part C has an error. Okay, are you getting my point? Kindly share this session with all your friends. Share this session with your friends. Okay, move to the next one. It was her. Okay guys, this is verb, and this is the second form of linking verb be. Make it sure be is a linking verb. Be base verb is a linking verb, and what are the forms of be base verb? Like is, mr, was, were, been, being, and be itself, right? So these are the forms of be base verb, and be base verb is a linking verb, and linking verbs are followed by a complement. Make it sure. Or linking verbs are followed by subject complement, you can say. So this word is a subject, it is subject, and after this linking verb, subject complement will be used. To complete this subject, we require a subject complement. So to make it subject complement, this pronoun must be of subjective case. If you use a subjective case pronoun, she will be there, and error is in part A. Error is in part A. Okay, so concept is what? Concept you can say linking verbs are followed by a subject complement. This is the concept. Linking verbs are followed by a subject complement. लिंकिंग वर्ब्स के बाद में सब्जेक्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट आया करता है. ये कॉन्सेप्ट आपका बन जाता है. एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे इफ आई से इट इज और इट वॉज, राइट, दिस इज द लिंकिंग वर्ब. इफ आई यूज प्रोनाउन लाइक आई, वी, यू, आई, वी, और ही, शी, or they, these are the pronouns of subjective case, and pronouns or of objective case are like me, us, or him, or her, or them, right? So these are the pronouns of objective case. These are pronouns of objective case, and these are pronouns of subjective case, right? You know it very well. Okay, the concept is what I said: linking verbs, forms of be base verb are followed by a subject complement, and this subject complement must be of subjective case. So all these are okay. This is the subject. To complete this subject, this pronoun must be of subjective case. These pronouns of objective case will be error part, you can say. So we always speak like this: it is I, it was I, it is he, it is we, it is he, it is she, it is they. We speak like this. If you speak like it is me, or it is us, or it is him, or it is her, that will be error part, right? So the concept is forms of be base verb are followed by a subject complement. So if you just apply it in the sentence as we discussed, it was her is an objective case. In place of in place of this, we have to use a subjective case. Sentence will be like, it was she who did the cooking, and error is in part A. Okay, move to the next one. Who was there but she? Okay, this word but is a preposition. This word but is a preposition, and it means excluding. If word but is used as a preposition, it denotes the sense of excluding, and the sentence is what? Who was there but she, excluding she, excluding, or you can say except. It shows the sense of except, right? And make it sure prepositions are always followed by a prepositional object. It must be followed by a prepositional object, but she is a subjective case. So in place of subjective case, objective case, her will be there. As I said, prepositions are followed by an objective case, or you can say prepositions are followed by a prepositional object, right? So if you just speak like, if you speak like sentences, if I say there is no dispute, there is no dispute between he and I. If I speak like this, okay, there is no dispute between he and I. In this sentence, you have a preposition between, and as we know, all these are subjective case, but prepositions are followed by an objective case. So to make this sentence error free, sentence will be like, there is no dispute between him and me. Objective case pronoun will be used. Sentence will be okay. There is no dispute between him and me. Are you getting my point? Is everything okay till here? Sentence will be like, there is no dispute between him and me. Okay, move to the next sentence. The campus of the school is larger than the college. Okay, in this sentence we are talking about one, we have a school, and second one is college, right? But the main comparison in the sentence is between the campus of the school. The comparison is between the campus of what? Campus of school with what? Campus of college, right? So comparison is not between school and college, it is actually between the campus of both the nouns, school and colleges. Okay, this campus is a singular noun, dear, right? So to show relation, we have used a preposition of. So it is said the campus of school is larger than the campus of college, the campus of the college. So the concept is, you know why we learn pronoun, why pronoun is a part of your syllabus. The reason is behind to avoid the repetition of a noun, we use a pronoun in the sentence, right? If you use pronoun repeatedly, then it will become boredom for us, it will become awkward for us or for speakers. That's why what they do, to avoid repetition of a noun, we use pronoun. So same thing happens here. We can't use campus noun again and again. So that's why in place of noun we use pronoun. Demonstrative pronoun will be there, right? We have to use a demonstrative pronoun. So to demonstrate campus, demonstrative pronoun, that will be there. This demonstrative pronoun denotes to the campus, and to show relation between the campus and the college, we have to use a preposition. sentence will be like, the campus of the school is larger than that of the college. That of the college mean to say the campus of the college, the campus of the college. Now sentence will be fine. Okay, move to the next one. You may be an editor or a reporter. This makes you sit, that makes you run. बहुत शानदार sentence है. Okay, this editor is the first noun, this is the noun first, right? And reporter is the second noun. Okay, you know this pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, it denotes to near. This denotes to near. And which is near, which is near to you? The question is which is near to you, and make it sure to find out ki which is near and which is far. It is always considered according to the main verb, and when you go through the main verb, and the nearer noun is what? It's noun second. So this becomes noun 2, and that denotes to far. That denotes to far. So this, that denotes what? Far. And far, what, which is the far of the verb? Far from the verb. This editor mean to say this noun 1 is far from the verb. Okay, so as we know, this denotes to noun 2, reporter. Reporter makes you sit, and make it sure reporter never sit. Reporter never sits, or you can say that is noun 1, editor never run. So who sits? Editor always sits, and reporter always what he does? He runs. So to make this sentence okay, we have to replace, we have to change the position of a noun. We shall speak like this. You may be a reporter, you may be a reporter or an editor, or an editor, like. And if you speak like this, now you will find this editor will become noun 2, this reporter will become noun 1, and here noun 2 is what? Editor. Editor, what he does? He sits. And noun 1, that denotes to far. Far is what? Reporter. Far is what? Reporter. And reporter, what it does? It runs. Now sentence will be fine, and you have an error in part A. Are you getting my point? Listen carefully. मैंने कहा कि जब जब डेमोन्स्ट्रेटिव प्रोनाउंस की बात आती है, ठीक है, पहला नाउन ये आपका मिल गया एडिटर, दूसरा नाउन हो गया रिपोर्टर, राइट? ये फर्स्ट नाउन, ये सेकंड नाउन. अब दिस डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करता है और दिस हमेशा बताता है नियर को. तो जब नियर चेक करना हो कि पास में कौन है, तो वर्ब से चेक करते हैं. अब मैंने देखा वर्ब के पास में कौन है? रिपोर्टर, यानी कि दिस नियर का हो गया, तो दिस हमेशा नाउन 2 को बताएगा, और दैट हमेशा बताता है फार को. फार किसके? वर्ब के फार में. वर्ब के दूर में कौन है? बेशक एडिटर. तो एडिटर क्या हो गया? नाउन 1 हो गया. अब हमें पता है नाउन 2 यानी कि रिपोर्टर. रिपोर्टर बैठता नहीं है, रिपोर्टर तो रिपोर्ट करता है, दौड़ता है, वो जाता है अलग अलग जो है, एक जो जहां पे कोई इंसिडेंट हुआ है उस लोकेशन को विजिट करता है. तो दिस जो है ना, रिपोर्टर कभी भी बैठता नहीं है, और दैट यानी कि एडिटर, एडिटर कभी भी रन नहीं करता है. एडिटर स्टूडियो में बैठ के न्यूज़ रीड करता है. रिपोर्टर लोकेशन पे जाके, ठीक है, जो भी लोकेशन होती है न्यूज़ की, जो इंसिडेंट जहां पे हुआ है वहां पे जाके वो रिपोर्ट करता है. तो हमें अल्टीमेटली चेंज करने की रिक्वायरमेंट है. अब देखो, दिस को दैट में कर चेंज करोगे, या फिर सिट की जगह रन करोगे, या फिर रन की जगह सिट करोगे, तो दो दो पार्ट में एरर हो जाएंगी, जो कि पॉसिबल नहीं है. यू कांट हैव एरर इन 2 डिफरेंट पार्ट्स. नॉर्मली यू कांट हैव. ओके, so error will always be in one part, and to make one part error having, so we just replace. If you replace the position of both the nouns, editor or a reporter, in place of this, if you speak like a reporter or an editor, अब editor हो जाएगा noun 2, editor बैठता है और reporter क्या करता है? रन करता है. A part में आपकी error हो जाएगी. I hope you are getting my point. Okay, next one is each has their own. This each always denotes to singular noun pronoun. Okay, this is singular pronoun. It demands a singular verb, and possessive case will also be singular. So this grievance is a noun, and before this noun singular pronoun will be there. His or her can also in the sentence. His or her. Singular possessive adjective will be there. error will be in part A. Okay, one should not forget what he does, what he was. Okay, make it sure. If indefinite pronoun, always remember one is an indefinite pronoun, and if indefinite pronoun is made the subject in a sentence, it prevails throughout the sentence. The concept is, if one is made the subject in a sentence, it prevails throughout the sentence. Okay, so if you just apply it in the sentence, this is indefinite pronoun, it is made the subject of a sentence, right? So it prevails throughout the sentence. So here in while you have an indefinite pronouns as subject, one as a subject, you can't use he, she, and in place of he, she, I, and all subjects, one will be there. Sentence will be like, one should not forget what one was, right? And error will be in part C. Okay, move to the next one. None of the two ministers. Here we are talking about two ministers, and when you talk about negative sense and to denote two, we have a word neither. Neither is used, none out of two. So in case of two persons or two things, we use a word neither, not none. None is used to denote more than two. If negative sense, if you are talking about none more than two, in that particular situation we use none. But here for two we use a pronoun word neither. Sentence will be like, neither of these two ministers, and make it sure neither of is followed by a plural noun pronoun, but verb will always be singular. This singular verb will be used. You have already a singular verb, so error is in part A. You have an error in part A. Okay, move to the next one. Neither of the ways are easy. Okay, here, you know, this ways, it can be two or more than two, right? It can be two or more than two. If you talk, okay, I was saying कि this ways is a plural noun, right? It can be two or more than two. So make it sure if it is two, for two we use neither of, but neither of demands a plural noun pronoun, but verb must be singular, right? Verb must be singular. And we have a word that is what? None of. And none of denotes to more than two. And it demands a plural noun pronoun and verb will be plural. But in this sentence, it is not clear कि we are talking about two. It is not mentioned like ninth sentence, right? It is mentioned two ministers, but here it is not mentioned कि two we are talking about two. So it denotes to two more than two. More than two demands a plural verb, but while we denote more than two, we use a pronoun that is what? None of. Now sentence will be fine. None of the two ways are easy to follow. Okay, the next one is the way he tackles the answer should not be emulated. Yes. You know, the way he tackles the answer. Here to relate, we require a relative pronoun, and you just speak like the way in which. Here we need the way in which. The way in which, now which will relate way he tackles, and way the should not be emulated. The way in which he tackles the answer should not be emulated. So sentence, in this sentence you will have an error in part A. Okay, there is scarcely a school going child but does not like television. There is scarcely a school going child. Okay, here we are talking about a child, right? This one is noun, it denotes to person, and make it sure does not. This verb is going to be used according to this child. Child does not like television, right? There is scarcely a school going child, scarcely a school going child who does not like television. So to relate persons, we demand a relative pronoun, and that relative pronoun will be what? Who does not like television. You have to speak like this. Okay, sentence will be fine. Move to the next sentence. You who loves. Okay, relative pronoun demands a verb according to its antecedent subject. According to this subject, verb will be plural, and to make this verb plural, drop s. Sentence will be like, you who love dining out will never cook at home. Sentence will be fine now. You who love dining out will never cook at home. Okay, it was a magnificent chance, but which, okay, this relative pronoun, this wh word never demands a conjunction before that. As we know, this relative word is going to relate here, right? It was a magnificent chance you lost the chance, right? So we have a relative word. Before relative word, don't use any conjunction, drop, but error will be in part B. Okay, next sentence is, each of the girls gave their. This pronoun each of is followed by a plural noun, but verb must be singular. This is the singular verb, gave. This is the singular verb, and possessive case will also be a singular. So before this noun version, her possessive adjective will be used. As we are talking about girls, singular possessive adjective will be used. Sentence will be like, each of the girls have her version of the incident in writing. Okay, this is the only one of the books that carry. Whenever you get a word, the only one is always, it always denotes to any specific singular, and to denote specific singular, this verb must be singular. So verb will be like carries. Sentence is like, this is the only one of the books that carries some weight. Sentence will be fine now. I said this word, the only one of, it always denotes to any specific singular, and according to this singular subject, verb will always be singular. So replace carry with carries. Okay, and the error is in part C. You have an error in part C. Move to the next sentence. Here comes Kapil Dev, whom they say is the best all-rounder India has ever had. Whom, okay, they say is, you know, in this sentence, here comes Kapil Dev, okay, whom they say. This is the subject. This is the subject 1. This is the verb 1. Okay. This is the verb 2nd. This is the verb 2nd, right? So according to this second verb, we demand a subject, but make it sure whom denotes to what? Object. But for this verb, we need a subject, and to make this subject we require who here, right? So speak like, here comes Kapil Dev, who they say is the best all-rounder India has ever had, right? Sentence will be fine now, and you have an error in part B. You have an error in part B. You have to maintain such sentence like this. You have to find out ki how many subjects are there and how many verbs. And if there are verbs one more than number of subjects, in that condition you need a subject, and whom never denotes to subject, whom always denotes to object. While we talk about subject, we require who. So replace whom with who. Sentence will be fine. Whom do you believe him to be? Okay, in this sentence, you know, this is helping verb, do is subject, this is believe main verb, right? And this is object. Okay, this is object. Whom do you believe him to be? In this sentence, it is talking about, in this sentence we are talking about profession. We are talking about profession. Sign of interrogation you have. So you demand an interrogative pronoun. An interrogative pronoun, uh, while you require, while you talk about professions, we use what interrogative pronoun, what will be there, and you will have an error in part A. Sentence will be like, what do you believe him to be? Okay, the boy being a brilliant student, he will top the class. Okay, now make it sure, this being, this word being denotes to what? Who is. It denotes to who is. This who is a relative pronoun. The boy is a brilliant student and the boy will top the class. So if you have a relative word boy and this is going to be the subject of verb will top, so if you already have a subject, then you don't need to use any pronoun in place of to denote this subject boy. So drop he and now you will have an error in part B. Make it sure it is said in the sentence, the boy is a brilliant student and the boy will top the class. So if you are going to relate the noun boy, so you have a relative pronoun and a word boy, so you don't need any pronoun to that can be used for them, for that particular word, right? So drop he. Much depends upon him singing the agreement. Okay, this word singing the agreement, this is the gerund, right? And gerund are always equal to noun, and make it sure before noun you don't need any pronoun. And as we know, to show possession on noun we require a possessive adjective, and to make it possessive adjective, his will be there and sentence will be like, much depends upon his signing the agreement. Much depends upon his signing the agreement, and you will have an error in part B. These are good types of questions, and these questions usually confuses students because the concepts are something they demand, they uh, they require some efforts, they require some kind of knowledge regarding this chapter. Okay, so if you know the concepts very well, then you will be able to just maintain the sentence, right? Okay, if I were him, okay, make it sure linking verbs are followed by a subject complement. So to make it subject complement, subjective case, he will be there. If I were he, I would put all my efforts, or uh, will top the class. The man who they bought to be a gentleman is a rogue. Rogue. The man who they thought to be a gentleman is. Okay, you know, in this sentence, this is the subject, this is the verb, to be a gentleman. Okay, this is the second verb, this is the second verb, verb second, and the subject of this verb is this, the man. The man is a rogue. Okay, now you have, this is the first subject, this is the first verb, this is the second subverb, this is the second subject. So whenever number of subject and number of verb are equal, right, so in that particular situation you need an object, and to denote object we always use what? Whom. We always use whom, right? So sentence will be like, the man whom they thought to be a gentleman is a rogue. Okay, error is in part A. Move to the next one. This is the only one of the comments that, okay, as I said, the only one of this word, the only one of demands a singular verb, and verb will be like deserves, right? Okay, next one. Neither of three candidates. It is said three. We are talking about three. So when we talk about more than two, in place of neither, none of three candidates are fit for the post. And while we talk about two persons, we use neither. Okay, error is in part A. My watch is better than that of yours. My watch, here comparison is between my watch and yours. Yours is, you can say, possessive pronoun. Here meaning of yours is your watch. So already you are talking about your watch, so you don't need any demonstrative pronoun that of before it. So sentence will be like, the my watch is better than yours. Or you can say, you can also speak like that of you. That of you can also be there. That of you can also be there. This is also okay. This is also okay. Remove that off or speak like yours. And you have an error in part C. The man standing beside the minister is a friend of mine. Here we are talking about indefinite friend. Out of all friends, we are talking about any. So sentence will be like a friend of mine. Done? Are you getting my point? They invited my friends and I. Okay. After this verb, this is objective case, and this one will also be objective case, right? So in place of I, me will be there. Sentence will be like, they invited my friends and me to tea. And you will have an error in part C. You will have an error in part C. Okay, move to the next one. I hate him talking too much. This word talking is a gerund, and before gerund we use possessive case. So sentence will be like, I hate his talking too much. I hate his talking too much, right? You have an error in part A. None of us. This of is a preposition, and prepositions are followed by an objective case. So replace we with us. Replace we with us, and you will have an error in part B. Sentence will be like, none of us accepted his invitation. Okay, I, he, and you. As I said, the sequence of pronoun, whenever you get singular pronouns, then the sequence must be like 2, 3, 1. And this sequence is only because of benevolence. You know a word, benevolence, propkar, right? And whenever anything good happens in your life, then we always initially we give credit to the listeners, right? Second person, you. Then we give credit to the persons whom we talk about, means to say third person, and in last we give credit to ourselves, right? This happens usually, right? So you have all three pronouns. This is the first person, this is the third person, this is the second person, but the sequence is what? 2, 3, 1. And if you just apply proper sequence, sentence will be like, you, he, and I. You, he, and I. Okay, you, he, and I. Apple between he and you. After preposition, this sentence has an error. There is something typing mistake. Okay, so drop this one. Move to the next one. I divide the apples. I divide the apple between him and we, him and you, him and you. This preposition will followed by, this preposition demands an objective case, right? So error is in part C. You have an error in part C. Okay, next, whom did you say was digging the ground? Okay, again, if you talk about this, did is helping verb, this you is subject, this say is main verb. So this you have two different verbs, one is helping verb and one is main verb. Okay, you have a subject you. So this verb was digging requires a subject, and this whom denotes to object. To make it subject, just say who. Who did you say was digging? And now you will have an error in part A. You have an error in part A. Move to the next one. Dear friends, I shall take your leave. This word leave is a noun, and this your is a possessive adjective. You know, we always show possession on noun, and we use a possessive adjective before a noun. But some of the nouns we have, like leave, excuse, pardon, or you can say mention, report, right? These are the nouns which never demands any possessive case before them, and we speak like, we use a preposition from or of, and sentence will be leave from, and objective case of pronoun you will be there. This is the objective case. If you speak like, dear friends, I shall take leave from you. If you speak like this, sentence will be okay, and you have an error in part C. Okay, next sentence is this book yours or mine? This is the possessive, this is apostrophe s, but we have, in absence of noun, we always use a possessive pronouns. So possessive pronouns will be like yours. Sentence is this book yours or mine? And this is coordinate conjunction. Before coordinate conjunction you have possessive pronoun yours, and this one is also a possessive pronoun. Mine is also a possessive pronoun. You have an error in part B. Okay, next one is I don't like talking to Radha. This one is gerund, talking to Radha. Talking first form plus ing, gerund, and gerund acts as a noun, and to show possession on noun we use a possessive adjective. Your will be there. I don't like your talking to Radha. Talking to Radha, part B has an error. One ought to do one's duty. If indefinite pronoun one is made the subject of a sentence, it prevails throughout the sentence. In case of subject indefinite pronoun, one's possessive adjective will be there. So sentence will be like one ought to do one's duty, and error is in part C. Error is in part C. Okay, move to the next one. Next sentence is everyone should love one's country. Here we have a possessive adjective before a noun country, right? But remember, possessive adjective ones will be used in case you have a indefinite pronoun. You have an indefinite pronoun one. Here we know it very well. We don't have an indefinite pronoun one. We have subject everyone. So in case of this subject everyone, we don't use possessive adjective ones. In place of ones, his or her will be the right answer, his or her, and you will have an error in part B. Okay, move to the next one. Every of the boys has. Every of, make it sure there is nothing like every of in entire English. There is nothing like, right? Whether you are talking about two or more than two, we always use each of, right? Every word, every is not a pronoun, it is always an adjective. Yes, when you talk about each has two different parts of speech. One is pronoun, one is adjective. When you use of after each, it becomes pronoun. So each of is a pronoun. Each of will be there always. Never use a word every of. So error is in part A. Okay, next one. Your need is greater than that of mine. That of, no need, that of mine. Here possessive pronoun, and this mine denotes to what? My need. My need. You can speak like this, mine, or in place of mine you can also speak like that of me. If you want to use that of, after this preposition objective case me will be there. Either you say your need is greater than mine, or your need is greater than that of me. Ultimately you have an error in part C. You have an error in part C. Okay, next one is my coat is longer than yours. There is comparison between two different coat. That first one is my coat and your coat. So if you don't have any noun, possessive pronoun will be used, and the possessive pronoun is yours. My coat is longer than yours. That is the first time that I have seen. That is the first time that I have seen you. This sentence has a typing issue, typing mistake. Okay, Sangeeta and myself. This and is a conjunction. Before this conjunction you have a subject Sangeeta, and coordinate conjunction connect same cases. To maintain same cases, just speak like subjective case I. Sangeeta and I went to Sona complex, and you will have an error in part B. You and Ahmad have wasted their time. Okay, this is the second person, this is the third person, and if you just check the origin, initially second person come, after second person third person comes. So according to you, possessive case your will be there, your time will be there. Sentence is okay now. We went to Badkal Lake and enjoyed ourselves. According to the subject we, possessive pronoun, sorry, reflexive pronoun ourselves will be there. reflexive pronoun, ourselves will be there, and you have an error in part C. Yes, are you getting my point? Are you getting everything? Yes, guys. So now I think it's enough from my side, and it's high time. Kindly share these sessions with your friends. Subscribe Crack Grade B if you have not subscribed yet, and you have your classes of English from Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. So be here at 4 p.m. if you want to learn English, if you want to learn all these grammatical concepts and vocabulary part and comprehension as well. So I'm here to teach you English. Be here at 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Now you have your class on Monday, and on Monday we shall cover fillers. So it's enough from my side. I keep my finger crossed for you. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. Take care. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.